Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you with the next session or next segment in the Alpha Wolf Learning, Development, and Course Creation course. So we're looking at understanding, what is a course and what is what are we trying to achieve with a course? Like, what is the conceptual framework of a course, and how would I go about creating a course? So, just understand, like, a course is a collection of information or knowledge that is structured in a way that it is conducive to memory retention and skills development. So, when we're thinking about a course and when we're thinking about, creating a course and all of this and structuring a course, we're thinking about how do we structure information to deliver a message and transfer skills and abilities and knowledge to another information or understanding to another um, individual or to another person. Does this sort of make sense? So when we're thinking about it, it's always important for us to remember that the purpose of our course should always be, to help a student or an individual within the course better understand how to achieve their desired results. So, for example, if I have this course on course creation, learning, and development, the primary goal of this course is to help a student understand, well, how would I go about creating a course? How would I achieve my desired result of creating a course? Does this sort of make sense? So it's very important when we're thinking about this that we understand this key sort of principle of course development and sort of courses, and that is the transference of sort of value, of understanding, of knowledge, of information. So the primary principle or the primary priority of the course creator is that there is value transferred in elevating the understanding of, a potential a student or of a of an individual going through the course, that they get out of it, okay, a specific value, a specific thing of information, or like specific information, understanding, knowledge, skills, abilities, however you want to see it. Does this sort of make sense? So it's very important that we focus as course creators on, like, hyper focusing in on the student's experience, the, end user's experience, so that we're able to focus in on providing information, on providing, value to them, and how we transfer that value to them. So through understanding this, what we want to think about when we're trying to understand, like, what is a course and what is the purpose of a course for me? What is it that I wish to transfer? What information, what knowledge do I wish to transfer to my, to my student, to my team members, to my consumers? So courses can be utilized for so many different things. They can be used to educate potential buyers on the value, or even buyers on the value of the product or service, on how to benefit from the values of the product or service. So if we think about it like this, if I was selling a business program, like, and I have a course on how to do marketing, okay, and I'm helping the client do marketing, like, if I'm doing everything for them, they're not really understanding how it's done. So we utilize courses to elevate the experience of our potential buyer or our buyers through explaining to them complex ideas or complex understandings and sort of making it simplified for them to being able to easily understand it and then move through it. So being able to consume the information and then or like sort of reproduce it or test and measure it, but also in understanding critical thinking. So as a course creator, okay, like what we want to do is prioritize, okay, value transfer. So what does that mean? What is the meaning of the information, or what is the information that we want to transfer to a potential buyer or to a student that will help them feel like they have gotten value out of it? So just think about it like this. A course is just a collection of information, knowledge, and it's the transference of memory, technical ability, skills, and experiential knowledge. So, all the same thing. We're thinking about, if we're thinking about what makes up a course, it is the structuring, it is the presentation of the information or knowledge, it is the way in which the information or knowledge is presented to the student. So, how it is. So, just understanding, do we want to have it all disjointed and over the place where we're introducing one topic and then another topic and then another topic and another topic? Or do we want to have it as a structured journey to where the student is going through an experience of having a foundational understanding laid out to them and then having a more slightly in-depth understanding laid out to them and then more in depth. Do you sort of get it? So the more we start to understand this and how to present and sort of structure the information to them, we just understand that it's a journey of understanding that we are taking a student on when moving through a course. Do you sort of get it? And the more structured, or not so much structured, but the more that journey aligns to their experience of understanding, the more that the course is going to be conducive to their overall success or create an environment of success for them in learning and developing. Because a course is more than just information. It's the way in which we transfer memory. It's the way in which we transfer technical abilities. It's the way in which we transfer skills and experiential knowledge to the student. So think about it like this in your own way. How is it that you best understand? Do you sort of get it? So usually it'll be a broad understanding. So where we have general information or a general overview of conceptual frameworks that give us sort of the structure to what we need to focus on. And then we layer it in with more advanced or refined information or niched information where we're looking at really specific. So if you want to think about it like this, we have general information and we have specific information, and we lay them through the course to give someone general information so that they can understand sort of like the big picture, the macro, and then we give them specific information so that they may understand the micro. And we're just doing this and running this process throughout the course. So when we're thinking about it, we're just moving from general information to specific information, general information to specific information, so that we're able to make it as seamless and easy as possible for someone to understand big picture ideas, which allow them to build up the overarching frameworks of what the specific information means. Does this sort of make sense? So basically, courses give you the ability to structure your information And if we were having it as if we were thinking about an analogy of a conversation, and I was trying to explain something to you in a conversation, if I just explain specific information or the details, and I'm very detail orientated, you won't understand the importance between or the association between specific information or specific details and the relevance to the overarching problem or challenge. Do you sort of get it? Or situation. So we just understand we're creating situational awareness and then filling it in with the description or the details, the descriptive details. And then we're linking that to the next sort of overview or general information or sort of like overarching view of the next theoretical framework or the next framework. So if we wanted to think about it like this, if we were to put it in a way, there's conceptual frameworks, there's theoretical frameworks, and they're slightly different. So a conceptual framework is a way in which you conceive something, you understand something. A theoretical framework is the basis or the theory behind or the framework in which the theory operates within. And then the specialized or descriptive details are the actions, are the sort of the data that makes it up. So if we're trying to move effectively through this, the more we can align and connect each segment to the previous segment and the way in which we structure it will then link the conceptual framework to the theoretical framework to the descriptive, data or knowledge, the specialized knowledge. And then we link from the specialized knowledge to the next conceptual framework, and then to the next theoretical framework, and then to the specialized data or the descriptive data or the specialized knowledge, like however you want to see it. We can call it information, we can call it knowledge, we can call it data, we can call it, you know, understanding. It's all the same thing. So these are just different words to make it easier for you to understand, but effectively it's just the structuring of how we present the information. Do you sort of get it? So if we think about it, like what's a good use for the courses, or why would I want courses within or to create courses within my business, within, my life, depending on what you do. So we're not thinking in terms of, creating a school or a university or, like an RTO. We're thinking in terms of like if I'm running a restaurant, if I have courses on how to cook pasta, if I have courses on, the best ways to eat pasta, the best ways to consume pasta, like the best ways to create flavor profiles, all these different things, like I'm able to create new experiences that transfer value to my consumer, to my buyer. Do you sort of get it? It's the value. So the more value I give to a buyer in different ways through different mediums. And of course, it's just one medium, it's just a highly structured medium. So, like, I could create a recipe that's a different kind of medium. Do you sort of get it? And a medium is just a way in which we transfer understanding or knowledge through either spoken, so verbal, through text, through video, through like experience and things like this. So we're just thinking in the context of if I have a business, how do I connect with my ideal buyer at the highest level? How do I connect with my team at the highest level? And how do I educate them on how to operate at the level that I want them to operate within? Does this sort of make sense? So it's sort of like there's so many different nuances, but if we think about it, it's all the same thing. Do you sort of get it? I can call oxygen air, air oxygen, same thing. Do you sort of get it? I can call water water, water H2O, you know, water hydrogen, whatever I want it to be. Like we're just it's the same thing. It's just different ways in which we explain them or different ways in which we sort of describe them to someone to help them understand. So a course is, you could think about it like I have content like video lectures. I have content like posts. I have content where maybe I share recipes. I have content where, maybe I share, you know, descriptive or specialized information. And when we're thinking about like the difference between general and like specialized information, if we were to categorize them like that, like specialized information is just like a layer deeper. Do you sort of get it? Generalized information, we're just being broad. We're not going too much into like the specific like terminology in all of this. We're not using like the specific or specified like language and things like that. We're just using nice, easy general information. And then when we go into the specialized information, where we're going into highly sort of niched or like specific information, that's where I'm telling you. So like we could think about it like this. If we stay on cooking and we focus in on recipes, I can have a recipe that tells you what goes in like let's say we're baking a cake and I can have the ingredients and then I can have the instructions for how to like bake it, how to cook it, how to create it. And then basically I can have a specialized one where I'm talking now about specific technical skills, specific technical data. So like in the generalized one, I might say, you whisk the eggs. In the specific specialized one or the specific one, I might be talking about aerating the eggs, where I'm whisking them at a specific like speed and I'm in a specific way to introduce more air to create or like to create the softness through introducing air into them. So we just understand that it's the same process. So if I'm doing a general course, if I'm doing a specialized course, it's the same process. It's just the way, the level to which I go about describing it and how specialized or specific the knowledge is on individual aspects of it. So just understand that when we're talking about courses, it's just a way in which we present information, but a conversation could be a course. Do you sort of get it? If I'm explaining to you how to do something, like that's a version of a course. Do you sort of get it? It's just the structure in which I present the information. That's what makes it a course. So realize that like, if I was writing a blog post, that's a course. If I was, writing a blog post on a recipe, that's a course on how to make that specific item. Does this sort of make sense? So, like, the more you start to understand this, that it's just there is one thing: knowledge transfer, understanding transfer, information transfer, skills transfer, abilities transfer, experiential knowledge transfer. The exact same thing, just different words on how to, or different nuances of how to view what we're doing. And then basically, like, it's the same thing. Do you sort of get it? They're just different mediums. When I'm transferring experiential knowledge, that's more hands-on. I'm showing you how to do it. Do you sort of get it? When I have a course, it's more the structured way in which I tell you how to do it and explain how to do it and explain the background of why it needs to be that way and all of that. So just realize that like it's the transference of valuable information or value that we are trying to achieve. and just basically to transfer like memory. If I know how to bake a cake, that's just memory. Do you sort of get it? So if I'm teaching you how to bake a cake, I'm just transferring my memory of how to bake a cake to you. Do you sort of get it? So just don't get too caught up in the different ways in which we describe things or the different ways in which we explain things and focus more on that it is all the same thing. Do you sort of get it? If I'm showing you how to do something, if I'm explaining to you how to do something, it's the same thing. I'm transferring knowledge, I'm transferring memory, I'm transferring, technical abilities, skills, experiential knowledge. Like I'm just transferring value. And the reason that we say that we're transferring value is because if knowledge is non-valuable or in not valuable, then the memory retention does not happen because we don't remember irrelevant things. We only remember things that we find to be valuable or we think are important or important. Do you sort of get it? So just realize that when we're talking about courses and what is a course, it's just information presented. If we were talking about blogs, information presented. If we were talking about a review, information presented. If we were talking about, a report, information presented. All the same thing, just different ways in which we are describing the different structures to how we structure them. So it's important to realize a course will usually have, an introduction to the course. And then it'll have a layered step way of going about it. But there's different kinds of courses as well. So these courses that I present to you are informational courses. This is where I'm laying out information, presenting information to you, and sort of allowing that information to be consumed. There is no purpose external to you understanding the information. Do you sort of get it? So just realize that it's like when we think about courses and things like that, we have this idea of sort of like an academic system where it's sort of like a graded course, where the purpose of the course is to be able to take a test and be validated that you know what you're talking about. Whereas the key is in an informational course that you're able to consume and understand the information that is presented and then able to replicate it or do it in your own way. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.